Alright, FriendZone's easy difficulty Linux box, which needs a fair amount of enumeration. By doing a zone transfer, vhosts are discovered. There are open shares on Samba, which provide credentials for an admin panel, and from there, an LFI is found, which is leveraged to get an RCE. A cron job is found running, which uses a writable module, making it vulnerable to hijacking. Now let's take a look at related Academy modules. We've got network enumeration, file inclusion, Linux privilege escalation, attacking web applications with FFUF, footprinting, attacking common services, password attacks, using crack map exec, DNS enumeration using Python, introduction to networking, introduction to web applications, Linux fundamentals, shells and payloads, and Python 3. Now, some categories associated would be vulnerability assessments, enterprise networks, web applications, and areas of interest include protocols, source code analysis, and authentication. As far as vulnerabilities go, we are looking at local file inclusion, remote code execution, anonymous and guest access, path hijacking, sensitive data exposure, and zone transfers. We'll spawn the machine as always. And we will begin. I suggest creating a directory for each box you do. So this one you can do mkdir and then FriendZone. We'll CD into it and we'll start with basic nmap, SC service scripts, SV for versions, A aggressive, O for operating systems, T4 is the time persistence, and we'll do -P- to search for all open ports. And then we'll go ahead and save that as FriendZone nmap. Let's go ahead and navigate to port 80 just while our nmap is loading, and we see, have you ever been friend zoned? If yes, try to get out of the zone. Call us at 9999999. Email us at info@friendzoneportal.red. As our nmap finishes, we have a couple ports open off the bat. We've got port 21 running FTP version VSFTPD 3.0.3. We've got port 22 open via SSH on Ubuntu. We've got port 53 open running ISC bind. Port 80, of course, Apache HTTPD. Got NetBIOS, SSL running, and there is a. When we were reading the information about the box, it does mention Samba shares. So we've noticed we've got a domain friendzone.red. When we navigate to port 80, we do not see that. We just see regular 10.10.10.123. So we can go ahead and try to navigate to that as well. All right, well we've discovered friend zone running on SMB, so let's go ahead and do SMB map -H followed by 10.10.10.123. And here we have a list of shares. No access, no access. However, there is read only for general and read and write for development. Now here I'm going to make a little bit of notes so here we've got a list of notes. Now you can also use cherry tree if you prefer. And I believe I start going into cherry tree a little bit further into the box. Um, you can download that and use that, or you can just use the mouse pad or the little notepad here that's provided in Linux. So a couple notes: FTP is open, no anonymous login is allowed. We saw that with the Nmap. SSH is open. However, we don't have any usernames or passwords, so we're not going to be able to try that as of yet. Port 445 is open, and we run SMB map to check out which shares. We get 2 open shares: general and development. General with read only, and development with read and write access. Go ahead and make a note of this here. Next, we'll run SMB map -H again, followed by the IP, and -R --depth5. This is going to enumerate a little bit more. Now, when we run SMB map with -R, it's going to be ran in recursive mode, which means it's going to be looking in depth. Now, we can also set the depth, which we set to 5, so it's going to be looking about 5 levels deep here. So it's going to list permissions for general and development. So we have read only for general, as mentioned before. It also is going to list any files in those directories, and it lists a creds.txt, which is also readable. As far as development goes, we have read access, but there's nothing in there. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on in general. Here we're going to log into SMB client and try to do it anonymously. We'll do SMB client followed by the target IP 10.10.10.123. And we get back not enough characters in service. So domain, username, password is what it's asking for. So here we'll do SMB client followed by the target IP. And we're going to set up we'll do SMB client followed by the target IP / general for the directory. And we're going to try to log in without username and password here. Here we'll do, once we actually just type this in with general, it's going to assume root, I believe, and then we'll just push enter. Now we have access to SMB. We already know that creds.txt is a file that exists, so we've just used the command get creds.txt to download that to our machine, and we can open that and see what's going on. Hallelujah at #. Let's go ahead and make a note of this. And because we noticed that there's an FTP server running, let's go ahead and see if we can use these credentials to get in there. We'll do FTP admin at 10.10.10.123. Type in the password here. We'll copy that. Paste the password in so we don't have any errors. Just make things a little bit easier. And login failed. Okay. No problem. Let's try to, since this password's not working for FTP, since this password does not work for FTP and on its login, what we'll do is try to enumerate SMB map a little bit more, see if there's, see if we can log in with admin and find any more information. We'll do SMB map-h followed by target IP. Then we'll do -u for username. We'll type in admin-p for password, and then we will implement the password here. We successfully log in. However, it's showing us the same information as before. Now, this is good. Now, in the beginning of the box, it does mention that enumeration, there's a lot of enumeration needed for this box. That's what that was. So let's see if we can find anything else regarding this friendzone portal.red, right? Let's try to use dig, see if there's any other domains available. We'll type in dig axfr, which is going to dig for DNS, or is going to perform a DNS query, and instead of just checking this domain, it's going to check all domains by performing a zone transfer. So we'll type in dig axfr followed by target IP and friendzone.red, and we get back transfer failed. We'll try this again. However, we're going to do dig axfr friendzone.red at 10.10.10.123, and then we will follow that up with friendzone. So the command was wrong. We'll do dig axfr friendzone.red at 10.10.10.123. And here we get back a couple different domains. We've got friendzone.red, we've got administrator1.friendzone.red, we've got hr.friendzone.red, we've got uploads.friendzone.red, and the original friendzone. So let's go ahead and make a note of admin, HR, and uploads. All right, so we've successfully used the dig command to find some other domains associated with friendzone.red. However, on port 80, we also noticed friendzone.red.portal. Okay, let's run dig on that as well. So we'll do dig axfr at 10.10.10.123, followed by friendzoneportal.red. After doing that, we can see a few more domains associated with this. We've got admin, friendzoneportal.red. We've got files.friendzone.red, imports, and VPN. We will also make a note of this. Now, here are the results of both zone transfers. Okay. We've got admin1, HR, friendzone.red, uploads.friendzone.red, and then below that for the friendzone portal.red, we've got admin, files, imports, and VPN. Now, if we try to go to any of these directories, we are not going to be allowed to. We're not going to have access. Therefore, we're going to need to add them to Etsy hosts. Now, you could type them in manually. Now my head is going to be in the way, but basically we're going to go and add all these to Etsy hosts and see what's going on in these directories. VI Etsy hosts, and feel free to type it in. So let's edit the VI Etsy hosts, and here we have added the friendzone.red to 10.10.10.123, the friendzone portal.red, the admin1, the HR, and etc. Now, I'd just like to explain again for those who may be confused of what's going on. All of these directories are under the same IP address, however, in a different domain. Right, so that is the difference between the friendzone.red and the friendzone portal.red. Let's go ahead and start navigating to this. So all we've got to do is just type in the different directories here. Here is the friendzone portal.red, and we've got a picture of Michael Jackson. It says good, cool, watching you. We'll also navigate to the friendzone portal.red. We're having an issue here. Now, previously we were going to use the program Aquatone, and what that would have done is take every domain in the list and take a snapshot of all of the web pages. Since that's not working, we will just use our list here and go ahead and look at all these different domains. All right, there's nothing in files. We'll go ahead and check some other stuff here. Let's go to admin one. Got a login. Go to hr.friendzone, nothing found. Let's check out uploads. And we have got something where it says we've come to a page that is allowing us to upload images. So this might be an attack vector. And we'll just create like a little PHP script here. So nano asp.x or nano example.aspx. Just see if we can upload anything else besides an actual image. All right, let's check if we can upload any sort of payloads besides an image. We'll do nano example.aspx. Create this file here. And we can just type in hi or whatever we please and try to upload it. Uploaded successfully. Let's see if we can access the see if we can access this after uploading. Not found. Okay. So it looks like out of all of those domains, for the friendzone.red, we are able to access the admin one, which is this login panel behind the screen, as well as the upload directory. Let's go ahead and check friendzone portal.red. We'll go ahead and we'll go through admin files, imports, and VPN as well. Admin.friendzone.portal.red, and we log in with admin. However, there's nothing in here. Let's continue. Now, since we've logged into this friendzone portal.red using admin and either admin or admin and work, hallelujah, the password we received before, we're going to try both on the administrator1.friendzone.red. See if we can get in here. And we are told we are wrong. Let's go ahead and try that. Hallelujah. What is it? Work, hallelujah. We'll try that. And we get a login done. Visit dashboard.php. So let's go to dashboard.php. Looks like there's nothing found. I might have yeah, I put an extra period. All right, so we have got here dashboard.php. It says smart photo script for FriendZone Corporation. Note, we are dealing with a beginner PHP developer and the application is not tested yet. So we've got parameter image name, param is missed. Please enter it to show the image. Default is image ID is equal to a.jpg and the page name is equal to timestamp. We can just copy this and go ahead and put that in. We'll go ahead and copy this image ID, this little path, and let's see if we can find anything. And we have found another page here. Something. All right, so here we are we see an image of one of the Simpsons characters saying, laughing at us, like something went wrong. The scripts include the wrong param. Okay. However, This pretty much tells us that we're going to be able to upload a PHP script and probably get a reverse shell, as this is if we have command execution in this. Now, something of importance here is that we don't have an upload vector at the moment. We don't see anything on the site that's going to allow us to do that. However, we did see that SMB client is writable. So if we're able to upload a payload or anything like this via SMB client, it may push into the development, and we may be able to actually upload something. We'll start by SMB client -L followed by the target IP. And let's go ahead and create a test.php. So you could do vi test.php and just do question mark php followed by echo hello world. And we'll try to upload this via SMB client, load the page, and see if we get hello world back. Okay. We'll do SMB client -L, do SMB client followed by the target IP / development. Login as root again. And we're going to put our test.php file here. Looks like we've successfully uploaded the file to the SMB client. Now we will need to navigate to the web page and see if we can launch it. So we'll go ahead and change this login right here to be able to, we're going to change directories. So we'll do /development /test /etc. So after typing in /etc development followed by test, as we named the file test.php, we see php echo hello world. So what this means is that there's an LFI, and we're going to use this to upload a remote code execution and get a reverse shell. Very good. So whatever we put in here will work. At this point, we're going to need a PHP reverse shell. So we're going to go to user share, laudanum, and in here we have ASPX and PHP. And forgive me, we're going to be using ASPX. Just kidding. We're going to be using PHP. And let me see, my head's in a... So upon navigating to the user share laudanum, we ls, and we can see a bunch of different little payloads here, right? So we've got DNS, file, hidden, and la da da. We're going to use the PHP reverse shell. So we're going to copy that PHP reverse shell. We'll do cp /user share /laudanum /php /reverse shell .php, or php reverse shell .php. And the period is going to write that in the directory that we're already in. So here we'll copy or we're going to move the reverse shell PHP into the FriendZone directory. Move PHP reverse shell.php. And we are going to name it revshell.php. ls again, we have revshell.php and test.php. Let's go ahead and use vi for the shell, and now let's go ahead and vi revshell.php so we can see what's going on. And we are given the payload here. We'll need to change the IP of the target as well as port, I believe. We'll go ahead and change this. Since it's a reverse shell, we're going to put in our 10.0 here. So 10.10.16.10. We'll also change the port to like 9001. We'll write and quit. We'll here we'll set up our NC listener in a minute. We'll do nc-lvmp 9001, and then in SMB client, we're going to put this new file, or put the PHP reverse shell, just like we put the original test file. So put revshell.php. And we've successfully uploaded that. Now let's go ahead and catch the shell. So we'll navigate to the web page. Instead of development, we'll do etsy development / revshell.php. Alright, so go ahead and type in etsy development / rev, and we've successfully got a reverse shell on the target. Alright, we got the shell here, and we are going to upgrade this to Python. That way it's more stable and doesn't exit out on us while we're performing privilege escalation. We'll do that with python-c import putty :putty.spawn bin bash. We'll push enter, and we are upgraded, and we are on the user www data. Hitting ls is going to list the files, and we have a couple files here. Alright, so in the interest of time, we're going to cd into the temp directory. Let's use PSPy to enumerate running crons. All right, to www/var as we're attacking that web page. And we can now cd into FriendZone portal admin ls, and we've got login.php and an index.html. Now let's check out what the login PHP is doing. Probably going to show us how it's reading usernames and password entered into the web application. So cat login.php, and we see a PHP script here where its username is equal to post username, password is equal to post password. If the username and password is equal to admin and password is equal to work hallelujah at pound, it will show admin page is not developed yet. Check for another one, else sleep. Okay. Let's do ls again. There's nothing here. There's nothing else here. Okay, so we'll cd and we'll move to a different directory here. We're going to cat the mysqldata.conf to see what's going on in here as well. And we see pretty much, let's see, we cat mysqldata.conf, which is a configuration file for the MySQL server that we actually haven't even seen a MySQL server, but nonetheless, we are presented with a username of friend for DB user, and the DB password of AGPYU12 exclamation 0.213. We'll go ahead and make a note of this. So we get reverse shell and navigate to the var ww, as that's what we're attacking, as I've mentioned previously. And the DB name is FZ. Okay. Now we have no idea where this server is. So what we can do is run netstat.an. So we have no idea where this SQL server is. What we can do is run netstat-anlp and grep that to a list. And what that's going to do is show all services running on this IP. Good. Pretty much nothing of interest here. Now, there's nothing of interest, so let's ls to home to see if there's any other files, folders, directories we can find and try to access the system this way. So we'll ls-home and we find friend. We also know that there's a username friend, so let's try to see if we can switch to that user of friend within this terminal here. So we see friend's a user. Let's switch users with su friend. Okay, well, it's not liking the command we just gave it. So let's go ahead and switch. su-friend, it's asking for password. We'll paste in the password of agpyu, and we have now successfully switched users to friend. Performing ls, we see a user.txt. Let's cat that. Cat user.txt, and we get our first flag. We'll make a note of this. And since the description of the box told us that a cron job or a cron tab is running, we're going to use pspy. It's Kali Linux package, and it's a command line tool designed to snoop on processes without need for root permissions. Allows you to see commands run by other users, cron jobs, etc. as they are executed. Great for enumeration of Linux systems and CTFs. Also great to demonstrate your colleagues why passing secrets as arguments on the command line is a bad idea. So we're going to go ahead and sudo ap install pspy. You can git clone it if you'd like. And we're going to have to git clone it because for whatever reason this doesn't want to work on my machine. So whatever. We'll do git clone. And we are able to successfully download the enumeration tool. ls with cpspy right there. And I'm going to remove the PSPY64S 1 and 2 because we had issues installing it, and I don't want any packages to interrupt what we're doing. Now I skipped forward a little bit, but what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to upload this PSPy from our machine onto the Linux environment and under the user www.data or friend so that we can actually run the program and see what's going on. We'll set up a netcat listener here. So we know that there's a cron job running. We're going to upload linenum to our machine and we run it here. And it's going to show us all jobs running and privileges. So all .conf files in the etc file. Interesting files would be, these are nothing. It's profile shadow. Now we could have used pspy to do this, or we could just use linenum.sh, and that's what we do. We see after running that process binaries and associated permissions. So we go down and we've got read, write, execute under root for user sbin cron. Now that's the cron job running, but we need to know what is actually being ran under this cron job or cron tab. If you continue scrolling down, you will come to a point where we see files not owned by user, but writable by group. And here we have read, write, execute, all of these. However, the only one that has root privilege at the bottom is going to be something under user lib python 2.7, and os.py is the name of the service. Now, because I had a few technical difficulties with the footage and things of this nature, I'll just bring up the walkthrough here. Um, Basically, what's going on here is after we found that script, right, the cron job, which can show later, but as we showed before, the cron tab that's running is being ran under user bin opt server underscore admin slash reporter.py. That reporter.py then allows access for the cron job to run. Now that cron job is the os.py, okay? Even though it's not going to keep showing directories right here or paths, that's what's happening. If we were to check out the Python script that's actually running under OSPy, it doesn't show us anything, so we're going to overwrite that information. I'm just going to background this for a minute. And we are going to attempt to open up the user lib python 2.7 script. So we'll do vi slash user lib python 2.7 and then os.py. So we can actually see what's happening when os.py is being executed. Here we have found a swap file by the name of user lib python 2.7 slash os.py. It's a swap file. File name, let's see, modified no, under host name, boom, boom, boom. Another program may be editing the same file. Okay. So we'll go ahead and push enter to continue. But since this cron job is running this Python 2.7 slash os.py, we're going to spawn a shell inside of this. So we'll just have to update that. And that will be called, then that's session hijacking, essentially. So here's what's happening. Just importing data. We scroll all the way down to the bottom, import sockets and subs processes OS. It will connect to our port here. All right, so at this point, we're going to import sockets, subprocesses, and we're going to import putty and a bin bash shell. We'll go ahead and upload that in the same fashion that we've been uploading files to this server initially. So it can overwrite that file, os.py. We'll cd into server admin so we can try to simulate the admin executing the cron job or the cron job being executed. And then hopefully that's going to overwrite the os.py and spawn the shell. So we'll python reporter.py. Good job, buddy. We have our listener set up. All right. So we've got our listener set up. And it connects us. Let's see here. All right, so ls, we see our reporter.py here. And the script has not been yet ran. So we're going to set up another listener, nc-lvnp9001. And it looks like it's having trouble importing the OS. Unexpected incident, vi user lib. Let's see. So we cd into op server admin, and then we launch python reporter.py. So when that job is ran, should give us a reverse shell. All right, so it's connected back, and we are root ls, and we have a root.txt. We cat the root, and we are presented with the final flag. Sometimes it takes 3-4 days on the same fucking box, bro. We don't care. I don't care. So from here, let's go ahead and find our notes. Put the flag in there, and then we'll find the first flag as well. So we go through our notes, we find the user.txt flag that we found earlier. We'll just put them in the same notepad here just to make things a little bit easier. Silly machine thought it was gonna ask. We'll copy the user.txt. And we'll go ahead and paste it in. Take my fucking answers. How you like that? They're gonna want you to get that fucking. Now it's gonna tell us the flag is incorrect because the box had to be reset. Therefore, the flag was reset as well, only for the user. However, we'll go back to SMB real quick. We'll type in the user.txt flag. That one was like easy. That was like medium difficulty. Okay, now this privilege escalation was not easy, I'll tell you that. And it wasn't easy to explain either. So forgive me if I kind of confused you or, you know, shit like that. But FriendZone has been pwned. And that's FriendZone pwned. Now, I'd like to stress that I am not a pen tester by trade. I am trying to be one. Okay, so I'll keep continuing to teach myself, going through these modules and these labs until that's accomplished. If you have any tips, tricks, or techniques that will, you know, speed up my ability to do these labs, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.